3, 2, 1. Ooh, happy Valentine's Day. The good day. I hope you've joined us in a happy mood, and if you've not, I hope you're leaving in a happy mood, because Valentine's Day, I know for me, some years it's made me feel really sad.
Aww.
You know, when you've just like, if you're not with someone, or the person you're with is busy or being an idiot.
More likely sad, I suppose. I've never felt sad being single on Valentine's Day. Always if I'm in a relationship and that person is like, oh well, I don't believe in it. Like, oh okay. We're doing that, are we?
I think that shows your strong security in yourself, 100%. But yeah, you know what? I actually agree. There is have you ever had a Galentine's?
Yeah, quite a lot. And that's what, even when I've not been single, I always try to make a little show of it to my nearest and dearest.
I think that's really sweet. Like, you came here today and handed me some sweets with some cute little balloons on them. I was just so touched. Like, oh, I feel really bad. I've done nothing back.
Well, I think growing up, my mum always gave me and my brother something. So it was, for me, it was never really a romantic day. It was a day to show a bit of affection or love towards somebody.
Really like that, and I hope to adopt that with my family, because you're right, Valentine's Day, it should not be dedicated to just that one person that's quite likely to pee it all up. Why not spread it out to all your friends, family, everyone that you literally love and adore? So yes, today
I think we said last year, because this is now a full year where we've actually covered this topic before.
yes, oh, hi Kat, shout out. Yeah, 100%. It's been a whole year, so we did, what was it called? Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Yeah, and we've even got a little birthday card, lots of, like a podcast birthday card.
And the beautiful flowers behind.
I'm going to, shall I open it now?
Yeah, 100%. Get it in.
We're not going to forget the intro this week, are we? So it's not, I was going to make us a sign. I'm going to open this. We're going to show you the card.
And then we'll hit the intro.
So, see what we've got.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I love funny cards.
Oh, hold it. Get it up there.
Did somebody say it's time to celebrate? Which one's me and which one's you?
I'm not going to lie. I mean, they're on the wrong side. That's me. Oh.
Aren't they? We should definitely.
Their little noses. That's so cute.
By the time we go live on Saturday, I'm going to have dressed those up to actually look like us. Aw. To Lindzi and Steph, here's to 1 year of your amazing podcast. Happy birthday. Keep shining and keep smashing it. So proud of you both. Love from Lou.
Thank you so much, Lou. That's amazing.
Tonight, so she won't be tuning in live, but I'm sure she'll catch up at another time.
Yeah, she's kicking a man in right now.
Yeah, what an amazing. And this is the thing. I think that shows that Valentine's Day doesn't have to rule your life. If you've got, you can go kickboxing, we're working and doing our podcast while our long-suffering partners are at home all alone.
I know. How did your fella take that we'll be doing this on Valentine's Day? Because I feel like normally Valentine's Day just kind of passes and goes, and then I'll have a little bit of why didn't we do anything? And he's like, well, you didn't really say it. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Or I'll be like, don't worry, I don't want to do anything this year. And he'll take that seriously and not do anything, not plan anything.
He didn't actually say anything. I'm just worried. Are you cut off the screen?
No, it's just half of that.
All right. I didn't want you to be like half cut off. No, we did something yesterday. So he just took it in his stride when I said that I would be busy tonight, which was very, very helpful for me because, sorry about that. Yeah, we spoke about Valentine's Day last year, and we did talk about the fact that it can get a little bit serious, can't it? And a bit.
You're like waving there.
I know, as we're waving our.
Serious.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think it should just be about showing your love. It shouldn't be about kind of showing off, if you see what I mean. And I think there is that very fine line, isn't there, between you've got to get me something so that I can prove to my friends that you love me type thing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I know a lot of people, and especially as a socialist, I should be very much against this capitalist idea of having to buy everything every day. But I'm also quite a softie and a traditionalist, and I like romance. And we live really busy lives. And I think I said it last year that if it's one day that reminds you, and that's what I need in life, a lot of reminders. If one day is dedicated to love, then I know that at least one, which is sad, but at least that one day, you've got no choice. Let's do this. It's me and you.
And it's a nice time of year in terms of, we've just kind of got through January, you know, it's still a bit bleak outside. So it's almost like the way that it falls in terms of the calendar. Yeah. It kind of breaks it up a little bit.
Not only that, how many people do you know are currently really struggling right now that it's February? They're just acting completely different.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's again, I'm not coming at this from any psychological backing, but I honestly think that we know about SAD.
Yeah.
You know, as it starts to get darker and colder, our moods shift. And I feel like we get through Christmas, which kind of keeps us up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then there's the new year and the new us, resolutions. But right about now is when people start being like, oh my God, it's only a month in and I already feel like as crap as I did last year. Or
nothing's really changed.
Just these pressures of, oh my God, it's already halfway through February and all these things I promised myself over Christmas and New Year.
I've not conquered the world. I've not lost weight. I've not whatever it is kind of thing.
I'm smoking more cigarettes than I was before. I'm not, just to be clear. But I know that there's many people out there. And this is the time of year. Shout out to my fellow bipolars if you're also the same. But this is the time when I just slide down that mountain and I go straight to the deepest depths. And I haven't this year. I think since last year, it's don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I still have my bouts of depression, but I'm not feeling that strong pull at this time. So
podcast keeps us going, doesn't it? It's like a weekly intervention almost. Like the amount of times we turn up and one of us is like really kind of down in the dumps, but then this hour of conversation perks us back up.
100%, and that's what I hope people get when they come to viewers.
Well, the thing is as well, for me, Valentine's Day is the self-love thing. It's an excuse to do something nice for yourself, like treat yourself to some nice food. Or on Monday night, I'd absolutely made a promise to myself that it didn't matter how much work I'd got to do, that at 9 o'clock I was going to run a bath and I was going to have a bath. And I did it. I lit loads of candles. I'm reading a good book at the minute. I put some frankincense oil in the water and a load of pink Himalayan salt. And I felt so re-energized. I totally needed it. And it did. It got to 9 o'clock and I was like, yeah, but I still need to do this and I still want to do that. And it's like, yeah, well, you'll always find something that you need to do. So you've got to just be quite strong with yourself and be like, no, you are going to do that thing. And I was ultimately so glad that I did.
Do you know what? I had recently had an interview with Sedge that you'll be seeing during the 12-hour stream, but she was talking about the changes that you'd made since she'd been working with you, and that was precisely it, that instead of trying to, I need to do this and I need to do this, I don't need to do this, it kind of streamlined you into be able to get in like a really strong guide. This is what I do and that's what I do next. And it feels like since then that's how you approach
definitely
things.
And I'm aware now there'll always be a list of things, so I'm never going to get to the bottom of it, so don't stress about it. And that I'm the one that puts those pressures on me. There isn't somebody there saying you've got to do all these things. I created that pressure for myself. And the other thing is that you don't have to deserve a treat. I find myself quite often going, oh, well, I deserve to take time off. You can take time off if you want. You don't need to work yourself to the ground in the first place to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
So, we're here to remind you of that tonight. Have a little bit of fun. And let's play the intro and then see you on the other side about that.
I ended up way too early.
Did you see the clips that I'd put together to advertise the 12-hour stream on Saturday? Makes me giggle.
I was laughing so hard. I love these I need to post them as shorts on the YouTube channel because they're so good. I forget about these ridiculous little moments that happen.
When you put them together like that, they're so funny. And I just love that because I just kind of, I can't sit and obviously rewatch all of the shows to find them. I just kind of slide through a few of the shows and hope that I'm going to land on a funny moment. And that bit where you're like, I really think there must be a way to own a spider monkey. And then I just like burst out. Because obviously I've got no idea what you're going to say. I'm like waiting. And then when you come out with that, out of context, it's even funnier.
Do you know what? I actually don't remember seeing it.
You said it because DJ Smokey was in the chat and he said he'd always wanted to own a spider monkey, but there was some kind of law. So, and then like, you must have been thinking about
it
during the show, and then you come back to it like later on, and I've obviously got no idea that that's what you're going to come out of. It's so unexpected and out of context. It's hilarious. Like, I really, there's a way of owning a spider monkey.
When I was watching it back, I was literally like, I was waiting to see what was going to come out of my mouth, and I was like, own a spider monkey.
Yeah. What? I was like,
yeah. Hey Anna, thank you.
I know we've got birthday wishes from the girls.
People are gonna be joining. Like, it's the same birthday on the same day.
I love though that it's Valentine's Day, but then it's the podcast anniversary. So then if we are feeling glum about Valentine's Day, we can just switch it and celebrate the podcast anniversary instead.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true. I'm never going to be lonely on Valentine's ever again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these flowers, they're a podcast birthday present, aren't they? So, you know, it works.
Yeah, thank you so much. They're so beautiful.
They are beautiful. I love tulips. I love the bright colours.
I love tulips. Have you seen the rows of them in Amsterdam?
No, but my mum said that because I was I haven't seen them in person, but I have seen the pictures. But my mum said that there's somewhere in England that's like that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to think because we went for my birthday last year. We went to a flower show, and she said that near to that there's fields of flowers growing like that. Now, if I'd have, we can do that this year. I was going to say, because if I'd have known, well, now I know.
Saying it like life's going to end tomorrow.
Yeah, as though that was the 1 year only.
Oh, now Netherlands is no longer a thing.
I'm sure, I'm going to quickly Google it because I'm sure that in England, there's somewhere that grows the flowers in preparation.
Oh, right, yeah.
For their flower kind of thing.
Did you read that? Logan says hi, he's waving at the screen.
Sweet.
Hey, Logan. I will see you tomorrow morning.
Yes. Responsibilities, Steph. Are you nervous about being in charge of a baba, or are you looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to it, but it's your choice to leave me with your kid.
Yeah. Look, Norfolk Tulips, Kings Lynn.
Oh, that's far from here.
Road trip. Yeah. So the fields are almost as spectacular as the Amsterdam ones. They don't quite look as bright. Yeah, we are going there to take photos. Like, we need this.
That's so beautiful. Okay. Yeah, that'll be us there. Get my good side.
And in fact, I'm pretty sure Kat said to me the other night that this is going to be the year of her getting back behind the camera and take it. She was really into photography for many years, but obviously having 4 kids will divert you away from your
attention goes somewhere else.
Hobbies kind of change. So Kat, this is going to be project numero uno.
Yeah, 100%. You're more than welcome to use my my Canon as well.
That's saying what month now. I'm sure it will be around your birthday time, Kat, because I went to the flower show in May and they were all grown kind of in preparation to that. So it will be like April kind of time.
Be wicked.
Little Holland, my mum's Spalding, Little Holland. Tulips were used for the float.
Spalding?
Yeah, it was Spalding Flower Show that I went to.
That's where I know the...
Yeah, Little Holland as well. I'm sure I actually saw the sign saying that. Very cool. But
They look gorgeous. Oh, Bagpuss.
Kat's saying we're doing the beach road trip as well, and we certainly are, because I want to go to the beach that DJ Smokey told us about, where we can find real amethyst and sea glass.
Do we remember what?
No, but I'm pretty sure if we put in like beaches in UK good for glass collecting or good for crystal collecting, or I can just go back and look at the episode and find out. Yes, that was it.
Was it? Wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. We need to get a big map behind us of all these places pinned on. This is why once the bus is finally renovated and we're on the road, we're going to be able to literally just drive to these places and do the podcast on set. We'll have a look.
Can you imagine just parked up there, just hey, all right?
Yeah. Like next week we go live. Like, told you we were coming to Dorset. Here we are.
Do you remember that? I think they still do it. Is it Radio 1 Live or whatever? Party in the Park or something like that. And they travel around with the. That'd be well cool.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like the aim, you know, because we've got people in this community all over the UK, as far up as Scotland and down as Cornwall, that are saying, "Oh, we miss you guys. We want to see you." Well, we'll be bringing the bus to you. You know, we'll be taking the podcast to you.
Oh, we do.
It's very exciting.
I know. I'm feeling like we need some meetups from like the community last year.
Yeah, certainly.
I want to bring all these different groups together.
Debbie got in touch from community. She's coming to Leicestershire on March the 1st and 2nd. So I've said to her, hopefully March the 2nd, Saturday, and she's around that day. We can go and see her for a bit. She's going to Nottingham, so she'll be right nearby.
I love that. Yes. Yeah, definitely.
And this time next week, I've just realised I'll be sitting here knowing I've got my test in the morning for the HGV license. So it's all pinning on this for me to be in the bus and mobile.
Yeah. Oh my. So what next? What is your test? So you're going to do like
a crash course almost.
So is that 4 days of lessons and then the 5th day is a test?
3 days of lessons and then the 4th day is the test.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because obviously they're not teaching you to drive. I know how to drive. There's like a day of reversing that's not a certificate that you have to pass. There's all these different elements that you have to pass to keep moving forward through it. So
yeah, in case no one knows. Lindsay she's recently passed her bus theory test, and on next Monday you'll be starting a crash course.
Certainly will. Video that I'm just going to quickly video that screen so that I can share it with my TikTok viewers. Like, I passed. And next week it'll be the practical, so bring it on.
That'd be so cool.
It goes.
I love that.
So are we going to get stuck into sharing some of our worst dating experiences? I feel quite nervous about bearing all.
Yeah, do you know what? Ready to dish.
And I want to know, those in the chat as well, if you've got any horror stories, join us in Let's Tell the World.
Yeah. Has anyone been on a blind date? I'm really interested to know that situation, because, and I don't mean like you saw a few pictures online, you didn't really know what they looked like. I mean completely blind. Your friends. I've never been on one. Another question I wanted to know, is anyone been speed dating?
No, but why does that ring bells? I feel like somebody did go. I feel like Lou went speed dating, but like almost as like a bit of a kind of keeping a friend company. But then have I dreamt that?
Lou, if you did, you're fierce. That's so scary.
Somebody that I know definitely had a speed dating experience quite recently, and I was like, wow, that is so cool. Unless it was a networking thing, but it was designed and it was set up like speed dating, and it wasn't actually.
Right, okay.
Confused.
I've always thought I'd love the idea of that. I wouldn't know where any are set up, but you often see them in like, I don't know if you watch Love on the Spectrum or anything like that, but they go into it on that, and I think, God, that sounds like a really fun thing. Until I realised,
I had to go speed. Keen on the idea of us going to stage.
I don't mean, not for me necessarily. If I was to ever unfortunately find myself, which I don't want, obviously, I'm just saying that the idea of online dating would be an absolute no for me now, which is strange because I met my current partner on an online dating site. I just feel like times, even in that small amount of time, has really changed, and you really can't be sure who you're speaking to anymore online or what the reason is. There's so many scams. I got a text today, hello, where are you? I thought it was like, I'll check in my diary, like, where am I supposed to be? Panic, man. I thought, oh wait, this is just someone trying to fish for a reply.
Like, I went onto Facebook looking for a ticket to a festival that my family were going to, and I just thought it was in the festival group. There's always tickets going. I thought it'd be really nice and simple. If anyone's got a spare ticket, they'll sell it to me. The amount of people that got in touch saying, I've got a ticket. And I was like, well, what about the wristband? And they were like, what wristband? Oh, there, I'll send you that. It's a paper one now. I was like, no, it isn't, you know? And it was just such a
My
shock.
God.
I am so naive when it comes to, you know, just like, goodness me, have you infiltrated every single aspect of life?
Yeah, 100%. Like that AI that calls your mum and like convinces you're being like abducted and stuff. It's horrible.
I did get one of those texts saying, Mum, my phone's died, like, but please, like, ring me, I need you, or something. But something had happened where she just spoke to me, or something about the way it was written. She just knew, you know. Yeah. But it's so bad preying on the vulnerable.
My mum,
makes me angry.
When my mum got that text, she knew it wasn't me because I replied real quick. That's what made her think.
Steph doesn't get back to me like that.
She was way too hopeful as well because the text was like, it's like I've broke my phone or whatever. Yeah. Can you call me on? Mum just replied, don't worry, Stephanie, we'll get you a new one at the weekend. Sweet of her, but like, no scammers getting money out of my mum. She's too kind to me, no one else.
That is sweet.
But yeah, dating. I feel like speed dating would be a really fun thing to do for someone. I don't know if it's like a novelty thing, the idea of like, I think even if it sucks, someone can pull me out in a few minutes' time. But also, having to say the same thing over and over again sounds horrible. So it's almost like a double-edged sword. Like, to have to sit there and be like, my name's Steph, and I do this, and I do that, and what do you do? And what's
the impression thing anyway, though, isn't it? You form a first, I think it's in the first 7 seconds of somebody approaching, you've already formed a first impression. So in a way, when it comes to dating, if you walk in the room, you already know. So then you've got to spend another 2 hours already knowing that this isn't the one, or that spark isn't there. Whereas at least with speed dating, it's quite, you know, boom, off you go, yeah. And then at the end, don't you like say who you're interested in?
Yeah.
Some kind of ballot box.
Oh,
that you match.
That love on the spectrum. He's there scoring them while they're sat there. Oh, I was dying. It's so funny. Like, the girls are leaning over, like, what, looking at him, ticking no. And they're like, eventually the camera, like, the producer leans in and he's like, are you doing it while they're sat there? And he's like, should I not be? And he was like, maybe wait till they move on. And he's like, I knew I shouldn't be doing that. Like, he knew, and it just, these simple, like...
So the social... That's a big whistle. Social cues.
Sizzling sausages.
Celebrate. Let's celebrate. But yeah, because my thing is I go from small talk. Once the small talk runs out, I overshare. So there is no, you know, I know the rules for small talk and I like them. And then I know how to just bear all.
I don't like small talk.
I don't mind it because I understand it, and it's like, okay, can ask, you know, these top 5 questions of, are you going on holiday? You know, there's certain fallback subjects. Right, yeah. You know, I'm quite good at making conversation, but then once it run out, it's like, everything.
No, there's something about them same old questions. Not only am I sick of me asking them, I'm sick of like understanding that they're going to have heard this question as well. So, you know, like on online dating sites, it's the same, hey, how are you, blah, blah, blah. I never sent the first message until I messaged Nick. It's the only and first person that I ever messaged first. And I was like, I don't want to just put, hey, how are you? Yeah. I don't want to, like, I want to stand out. I don't know. Did I ever tell you what I said to him?
No, sorry, I've just quickly read Kat's.
Read the thing out. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can. So Kat went on a date with a guy who was 6'3", and he stood very close behind her at the bar, and she could feel his mini man rising in the middle of her back.
Soldier saluting.
He was an awful kisser, all slobber and teeth. Got massive ick, and the date ended early. I mean, that whole rubbing the
lurch.
Yeah, rubbing it on you. It's like, I'm aware of what's between your legs. I don't need to feel it on my body until I'm welcoming that. If that's the way to put it.
I like, who's out there using that as one of your first moves? Like, oh, we were on a date, we're at the bar.
I mean, maybe he wasn't aware that she could feel it. Like, was he?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to need some clarification, Kat. Do you think it was Nick? Oh, no.
Go on, Nick. Clearly it was a good pickup line.
The line I will admit is stolen from one of my other friends, who is a guy and would send this to women just as a way to stand out. Yeah. And for ages, I just thought, you're an idiot. What are you doing? And then it clicked. No, it's actually genius. Because I don't like small talk, it almost filters out anyone that I wouldn't want to talk to. So if someone replies, what? What are you on about?
Yeah, then you know they're not for you.
Yeah. So I asked, can you cook an egg in a tumble dryer?
And then it's a case of, are they going to just go for it and chat back?
I swear to God, this man thought about it. And from that day forward, he's been my guy.
I like it. I like it. Can you cook an egg in a tumble dryer?
Still never found out, but we basically planned for the first date to be, all right, we'll go to a laundrette, we'll do this, because I'm not ruining my own.
Yeah.
It was cute.
I like that. And yeah, I totally agree that if you can have that banter straight away, like if they can match your weird, then you know that they're going to be on your level. And that is definitely a good trick.
Match your weird.
It is though, isn't it?
Yes.
Because, you know, we've spoken about it before. I've had, you know, comments of that girl scares me and all sorts. You know, that's okay. My energy scares a lot of people, but I love that. Who cares if you can cook an egg in a tumble dryer? It worked.
100%,
Just going back to Kat's. Oh, he knew that she could feel it, and he was doing it on purpose. So, guys, that's not a chat up line that we would recommend.
Any kind of line, points, nothing. Don't make that. Yeah.
So, I've been racking my brains for kind of bad stories on dates, and I've got one that's not really that bad, which was me and Lee were out on just out together last year somewhere, and I realised I'd got these trousers on backward. It was like I was walking, and they could I could feel them pulling back on themselves, you know, like I was like, what is wrong with these trousers? And I looked down and I had them on back to front. So that wasn't too great. Because, you know, like you've made a proper effort to be out with your man.
Yeah, wait a second. Paint this picture for me. Whereabouts are you when you're realising? What part of the night?
We was in Birmingham. We'd parked up and I don't know if we were walking quite fast to get through the shopping centre to get to the place we were going to see like Verb T or somebody in concert.
Right, okay. So you're not yet at the venue.
Not at the venue, but we were out the car and out of the house, and you know, like he did say, why don't you go to the toilet and turn them around? But I'd got laced up boots on, and I was like, oh, because then I've got to like unlace the boots, you know, where it's just like, you know what, I'll just leave it. Can you tell? Like, and he was like, not really, no, you can get away with it. So yeah, I just went with it.
I just imagine this like bum-shaped hat.
Yeah, the front. No, luckily they're kind of like leggings type trousers, so they
okay, yeah, that's easily done.
The long t-shirt on it was like that look of oversized t-shirt with leggings, so you couldn't actually see the kind of crotch area anyway, so that was all right. My horror story of a date was I was dating this guy in my 20s and I had too much to drink, so I don't remember where the date went wrong. I just woke up the next day and knew that it had gone wrong. I'd like blocked out at some point. The kind of last memory I remember was him walking away, like, you know, me being like, yeah, F off then or whatever. We'd had some kind of fallout. And then the next day my phone started ringing and it was him ringing. And I was like, aha, he's ringing to apologise.
I'm so sure.
So I was like, hello, mister, and said his name. And then a girl's voice is like, "Are you been with my man yet?" Like, it's his girlfriend. I had no idea he had a girlfriend. So we had a very interesting conversation where I was like, oh, she was going mad. And then once it turns out he'd stormed off from me back to her house, and he was asleep in her bedroom as me and her were having that conversation. She like pulled his phone out of his pocket, found all the messages, and then obviously rang me. So yeah, that was like a bit of a shock.
Oh my word.
Because then I was like, well, you know, we're both fools then, aren't we? Because I didn't know about you. You found out about me, and clearly is playing them both. So that was interesting. An interesting experience.
Oh my word. I could just imagine this conversation starting off proper irate and then turning into like, do you know what? I'll meet you for, for a coffee, mate. I think we've both been done it.
She said, "Do you know who Naomi is? Because I found texts from her as well." I was like, "No, I don't."
Oh, hun, you've got more problems than me.
Yeah, by then I was like kind of glad, you know, that I'm just dating this guy. It hadn't gone any further than that. And, you know, there's another guy, there's another girl, sorry.
Shout out Naomi. I hope you're doing well these days. Still got all your fingers and limbs.
I was like, I don't. Yeah. Didn't know who you were. Never mind who this other girl that he's dating is. You know, he hasn't told me about any of them.
Naomi sleeps with the fishes now.
Yeah, so that was a horror.
Going through your man's phone when he's asleep. Yay or nay?
No way. Trouble is, if you come across something, you've then got to tell them. So I would rather not know. Or for me, it's like I trust people implicitly. Yeah, I trust people implicitly, and then the minute they break that trust, that's when I'll walk away. You know, so if I was feeling like I wanted to go through their phone, that
enough signal.
That to me would be the signal that, hold on a minute, why do I feel this way? When I was younger, I think, you know, early 20s, late teens, early 20s, I would definitely have gone through phones in the past and been in that position then of like, well, now I've got to tell them because I found them then.
The idea of like secretly going through someone's stuff, and I learnt this with one of my first like proper boyfriends, because just on his screen, on his like desktop, there was a letter saved. Letter to, I can't remember her name now. And I was like, well, I know that's the name of his ex. So I don't go through that. And I was like, hold on, you said use my laptop. There's clearly this document there. Like,
yeah,
how much do you want me to not snoop? But there has been times in my later life where just in that moment, I've been like, you're fucking lying to me. And I haven't secretly got their phone. I have pulled it out of their hands, ran off the stairs, shut the fucking door and been like, I'm going through this. Oh, you fucking arsehole. I was on the other side like, I'm sorry.
There's nothing than actually having the proof when someone's lying, but I have realised a long time ago that your instinct has to be enough. Like, if you think they're lying, you've got to just walk away rather than staying until you find the proof. Because I've made that mistake as well. Yeah. They have made me feel like I am insane, and I know they're lying. And then when I eventually got the proof, it was like, well, why did I need the proof? I knew they were lying. Now I'm 10 times more hurt, and I should have walked away 3 months ago. You know? Yeah,
100%. I feel like. As well, there's the other side as well, isn't there? Where like if you're getting accused of it when you've got nothing to do with it, that's probably a sign that they're up to something. Yeah.
I've been in that position before where somebody was so paranoid over my behaviour, my whereabouts, and I couldn't understand why they were so paranoid. But then, I found out that they were the one they weren't necessarily cheating, but they were sending messages they shouldn't be, kind of tapping up girls they shouldn't, so the fact that they knew they were being sneaky was why they assumed I was being sneaky. So
I feel like it's really hard for people to understand, or maybe it's just the people that I've spoken to about this just setting boundaries. Well, like, how do I know what's not? Like, just have a boundary setting conversation where you're like, because some people might be like, oh, I quite like it when he flirts with women when we're out. It makes me feel like, I like, as long as nothing more than that happens. Whereas someone else might be like, do not look in their direction. Yeah. And it's just a little bit like, have that conversation. What are you okay with? Some women will be like, I don't care if you sleep with her, just don't kiss her. Do you know what I mean? It's a very a
very strange kind of where the line is. Because with this show last year, we'd kind of we'd got a list of questions we were going to ask our partners, and then we were going to share it or whatever. And one of them was like your celebrity crush, and I was really horrified. Like, I don't have a celebrity crush. My boyfriend is my crush, you know. And for me, like, I just wouldn't dream of talking like that to my partner about another person.
Yeah.
And I would not expect him to either. I'm not naive. I know he must find other people attractive, and if you have crushes or whatever, that's fine. But it's like, but you were really like, what? You don't talk about, like, you know, crushing on this guy. And it's like, you know, and it was like, you see, that boundary is very different, isn't it, from person to person or couple to couple?
Yeah, 100%. It's just about knowing what the other person's okay with, what you're okay with, and just working on it together.
Right or wrong in particular kind of thing. You know?
Yeah. There's no shame in anyone's game.
Yeah, as long as, like you say, it's two consenting people and both of you feel the same. It's not nice for a lad to go on and on about some other girl's arse or whatever if it's making you feel comfortable, but they're like, well, it's nothing. No, it's something to me, you know. So yeah, that is important to.
I think, like, just for the person that I am, like, I'm very interest based, and I do become, like, not obsessed, but I'm like, oh, to the point, like, just looking at a picture of them, I'm audibly like, oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, they're aesthetically beautiful. Like, the amount of times Nick's heard me be like, oh, Hassan Pike. Like, or I've been like, look at this funny video. Part of him's probably like, I don't want to watch this dude.
I love lists. God, I'd be like horrified if Lee came out with me with a list. I'd be like, take your list and there's the door. But like I say, I'm not naive to the fact that, you know, he's going to look at other girls or whatever. Like, yeah, all right.
We were talking earlier because Kat tagged us in that video of, I don't know if anyone's seen him. Can't show it on here, I don't think. And if I can, I'm not going to risk it. It's a nice gentleman doing exercise, and his, how did you phrase it before? Rise in the middle, because he's exercising, is doing this.
I think it's purposeful, isn't it?
It's a meme, 100%. But he's doing it for. I mean, it works. I bet that's sent right round the internet.
Yeah, but it's used.
Yeah, it's just bulge basically, and you like. I feel guilty even looking at this.
So, because obviously Kat tagged me in loads of stuff, and when I opened it, I was immediately just turned it off because I was like, nah, you know, like that's for me. That's just like I don't know.
Whereas I ran up the stairs and went, Nick, look.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. If that would have up and I was sat next to Lee, I probably would have gone, that's, you know, and showed him.
Yeah, because you don't want to be like, I'd overplay it at that point. Oh, look what Kat literally just sent me. Look.
Do you know what I did hear or read somewhere which made me really laugh? It said that humans either lost the ability or haven't bothered working out the ability to be able to read each other's thoughts, because if they did, there would no longer be any monogamous relationships. Because like you say if on screen, like a gorgeous guy comes on screen, the voice in your head's like, whoa, oh my God. Like, imagine if your partner could read your mind, you know, then there wouldn't be this, like, and the way it was worded was just really funny. It was like that humans operate under this illusion that they can have relationships as though there's no one else, but it's only because we can filter what's actually shared with the other person under this illusion. But if that broke my heart, I was like, I hate to think of that.
It's really weird, isn't it? Because one of my favorite films, I Love You, Man, there's a bit in it where he's talking about who he pleasures himself to, and he's like, oh, just got a picture of my wife, and he's like, your wife? Sick. Why would you do that about your wife? And I remember having a friend that was like, there's stuff that, you know, you do to your wife, but not your mistress, and vice versa. And I was like, so there's some people that think the dirtiest of stuff is reserved to the closest one to them, where there's other people that are like, the dirtiest stuff is for the girl that
they've got no respect for.
Yeah.
It's a very skew with kind of
weird,
isn't it?
Don't get me wrong, I'm very, like, I'm not exactly Black Widow when it comes to it, but it's kind of fun, the idea of like, oh, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this, so I'm just going to stop.
Mine won't be. But I'm still going to be careful what I say. So, have you got any other horror dating stories?
Do you know what? I'm very thankful that a lot of my dates have been very nice. But one always sticks out. And it might highlight a little bit of shallowness in me, which I'm fine to get over that.
What happened?
So it starts with picking me up in a Mini, not an old classic Mini, just like the car that you see your sister jump out of when she's finished her hairdressing training. I know that's so stereotypical, but like all I know about these Mini, whatever they're called, Mini Coopers, is that they're just hard work, that they break down a lot, constant maintenance. And anyone that's really into minis will get an old classic Mini. I'm sure this isn't the case. I'm sure Matt Armstrong watching like that's not it. There's manly men like
I was going to say
BMW. Yeah, BMWs. Well, they're made by BMW.
They've definitely got a like a kind of club following on.
Yeah, 100%. Unfortunately, I'm not in the club that follows the men that follow them.
Yeah.
And not only that, once the man got out, he was about the height of it, which. On the dating profile, sir, you said 6 foot.
No way. So it wasn't just a slight alteration.
Exaggeration. Again, this car pulls up and I'm just like, God, he must be like. And then when I see it, and he's like, there's so much room above his head. So I get in the car and I'm like, I'm just looking at his tiny legs and his tiny stature and his tiny head and his tiny car. I'm thinking, I hope this date is real quick and tiny because
I already know. And that's what I mean about these first impression things. It's you kind of wish that you could just be like, oh, shall we just skip the whole thing, you know?
But me being me, knowing that I'm shallow, knowing that I can be cut to quick things off like that, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy this date.
Quick things.
Yeah, we're going to quick to cut things. There's, so... Yes, we went to Bradgate Park. Beautiful place. Great idea for a date. It's really good, but it's not too intimate.
Tiny legs.
Took him ages to get round. I put him on my shoulders. Took him for an ice cream. No, the whole way around, he was, I'm do this, I do that. Oh, last week I was traveling here, and then I'm going to be doing this. It was proper like, he didn't ask me one question about myself.
Oh, wow.
And I'm at the point where I'm just like, give me something, dude. Give me something to stop me just going off you completely. Yeah. And he just wasn't. And it just like, I'd try and say something and he'd be like, oh yeah, well, not to add to what I was saying, just go off on a tangent and it just got so exhausting. Normally I will be a very cowardly person and I'd go home and say just peace and love, but no thank you. It got to the point where he was asking so much about the next date. When we do, or anyway, and I was like, I don't know. I'm very, and it was like, well, when is it going to be? It was like, it was almost like, have I wasted my time like coming out and I was like, I just got to the point where I was like, I can't stand you, dude. I'm in his car, he's driving me home, and I was like, this is the worst date ever. You are not who you said you were. This sucks. You've got the worst personality, and I know I've still got 10 minutes before we're even getting back to my town.
Live here, be out.
Any normal person would have been like, I'm sorry I brought you to this part, or this girl, who does she think she's talking about this, and just silent. He remained the last 10 minutes asking me why. Like, oh, but I do this. Well, but you do that. And he was like, oh, but you're not that good looking. So why do you think that, like, that like ranting to yourself, but at me, but because I'm not replying, I'm just waiting to dive out this car.
Just remembered a horror date. You've just remembered, sorry, no.
I love it. No, that was literally it. I got home and was like, I am never online dating ever again. And thankfully, my next experience was also, by the way, was, I can't remember. It was either New Year's Day or Valentine's Day. Yeah. But I remember just being like, what a waste.
Well, which you just reminded me of I drove all the way back from Newquay, because I went camping with this guy, and we went out drinking that night, and he was absolutely so rude. He was horrendous. It was awful. And the next day, in fact, like we went back to where the tent was and stuff, and he just left me. It was pitch black, and I remember I sat down on the edge of the path and just started crying because I thought, right, you need to pull yourself together. Like, you've got to find the tent because you're literally in the middle of nowhere in the dark. And I already knew, I'm quite stubborn, so I already knew as soon as I wake up tomorrow, I'm leaving. Like, my car wasn't there. My car was in Plymouth, where I'd met him at his house, and then he'd driven us the rest of the way.
God.
So it was like
Members.
and but the weird thing was when we'd got ready, because I'd like used the, like, obviously on the camping site there's like showering facilities or whatever, and I'd got ready to go out that night, and I remember thinking, oh my God, you know, like, you look so nice, and I was really pleased with how my makeup had gone, and you know, like, I was really pleased with how I looked on my outfit and everything. And as I walked back, I was like kind of almost expecting him to be like, wow, you know, you look amazing. And I remember him straight away being quite nasty and making like almost a passive aggressive comment, and me just thinking, this is a bit weird. So it was like that red flag. And then in the first bar, I was like laughing at this smoothie ingredient because it had got about 15 different fruits in it. And I was like, God, that's not exactly healthy, is it? Because you're not meant to eat that many fruits. And he yawned in my face, and I was like, oh, sorry, am I boring you? And he was like, yeah, to be honest, he was like, girls always talk about these healthy this and healthy that. And I was like, I'm not talking about it being healthy. I'm talking about it being unhealthy. And he was like, oh, well, I thought that's what you were saying. And, you know, when you start to realize this guy is an arsehole. You know, like it was, and then he made a comment about I don't really like girls with toes, and it was like, why have you asked me out on this date then? Like, you know, like it just got the more he drank, the ruder he got, and the more belligerent he got. And the next day when I woke up and I was like, I'm ringing a taxi, and he was like, what? I was like, I'm going back to Plymouth to get my car and I'm leaving. And he was like, what? And I did feel really sorry for him because he just looked so horrified, like that I was going to do this. And he was like, well, everybody gets too drunk and make, like, you know, I know that I was rude last night, but it's just because I'd had too much drink. But you know, and you're like, mate, this was our first opportunity, and that's how you treated me on the first night. No, thank you. Like, you know, why would I go any further with this kind of thing when you've already shown who you are? But yeah, you just reminded me of the car thing, because I sat in silence from Newquay to Plymouth, and then I drove back from Plymouth to Leicester.
Oh my God.
With no battery on my phone, like reading. I remember sending one text to Lou. I lived with Lou at the time, still in the flat, and sent her this one text like, I should be home in the next 6 hours. Like, if I'm not, send a search party out. You know, like my phone's gonna die. It was before the time of like car chargers and all these things. You know, like, but God, yeah, that was horrendous. I'm so glad. I'm so proud that I've just remembered I had a really that was worse than the girlfriend ringing me.
You suppressed that.
Yeah,
like,
clearly I did.
Shoved that way down. Like, let's not remember that again.
Yeah, you know, not slept much, and I was hungover, and oh yeah, it was horrible.
I feel like if I'm that far away from home, it's way easier for a guy to make me feel uncomfortable, or anyone I'm in the presence of, because I'm already like on the back foot of like, where am I? It's going to take me ages to get home. If I want to get home, that's already in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
So if I'm with someone that's like not treating me right, or like, I just go into meltdown.
Rude as well, you know, where you're just like, wow, like. And then the final straw was TLC No Scrubs came on, and he was like, started going like, we was in the club at this point dancing or whatever, and he started going mad like, I hate this song, who does that woman think she is? And it was like, what are you getting irate about? Like, this is crazy. I mean, clearly the alcohol didn't agree with him, because he got worse and worse, you know, as he was drinking it. But it's just that whole like, well, we know it was the alcohol, blah blah blah. Well, yeah, I'm not going to do this again, dude. You know.
Do you know what? That's a good song to filter through a dude. If he doesn't like No Scrubs,
it's that whole, he was triggered by it because he clearly.
Yeah, like, what don't you like about it, dude? It's a bop. It should be nostalgia to you because it was a while ago. It's written by one of my favourite Real Housewives, Candy Burris. And performed by the awesome TLC. Like, what more do you want? It's such a bop. The only thing you can have a problem with, sir, is the reflection.
Yeah,
what you see in yourself.
It clearly got wounds. So is there any things that you say are absolute red flags on a first date, other than being abused or the girlfriend?
Yeah, if the girlphone rings, that's a no. That's not a red flag. That's a like, get out. It's got like a skull and crossbones on it. Like, no, sir. No, ma'am.
The lying on their profile is a bit of a red flag, isn't it? Not asking you any questions. That was another red flag.
Yeah, definitely. I think quite a lot of people say it is how they treat other people, like waiting staff, or like just general like other people that you're around. You know, I feel like it might give you a bad impression if you do the driving thing, you know, how quick are they to get annoyed at people when driving, because that's something I do. But it may be an indicator, do you know what I mean? If you're someone that, yeah, if you don't like, you know, if you're someone that doesn't manage well with these kind of mood swings, then maybe that could highlight, I don't think I could drive in a car with you.
Treat waiting, because I was a waitress for a long time, and I always used to say that it kind of showed you the really horrible side of the human nature. You know, how some people thought they could talk to you because you were just a waitress.
Oh my God,
it's a real shocker.
And then people that treat you nicely with respect, the standard expectation of it, like these people cannot understand that you get clicked out on a regular basis. That people go, oi, hey. That,
or
like,
even like the amount of people that get in my face, like talking to me, like, and I'm like, it's a bowl of chips. You know, like there's war and famine, and you know, and you're out having a lovely meal. Is it really that bad that you think you can talk to me like absolute dirt? I mean, that always gets at me, because I just think you can complain about your food, but you don't need to personalize it towards that person. They are the most disgusting thing you've ever come across.
100%. Do you know what? The grossest date I've ever come across was a lady date, old lady date, when I was a server at the Start Inn restaurant in Sutton Bonington. It was a beautiful place, and it had like a bar menu, and then it had like the full restaurant. These elderly women, proper like looking down the nose at everyone. There was about 4 of them.
It's interesting you say that, because they were always the worst customers in our place.
Every single time. You can complain about the dude that's at the bar drinking all his beers. At least he's paying for them, and he's getting into the, do you know what I mean? He's paying for stuff. These women sat round, ordered 2 charters.
You sharted in the show.
Celebrate. They ordered 2 starters between them, some wine, and that was literally it. And they sat there for hours.
Yeah. God,
and as
it's been the same ladies that we'd serve.
As I'm literally like clearing stuff away from their table, I hear one of them say, and I swear to God, because people have said she didn't say that.
Yeah.
I swear to God, it's stuck in my mind since I was 18. I remember it. She said, "I can't help but think the people that eat here are a little better off than the people that just drink here." Sutton Bonington is like a bit of a farm neighborhood, so you've got your high class, but then you've also got your high class.
Stuck on road.
Yeah. And then you've got the working class. You know, it to me, looking at them, like they both ate and drank in the same place, but this woman had this, and all her mates around her like, "I think you're right, mate, but it's already right."
Yeah.
I just sat there like, the people sat in that bar have literally kept this company going all week.
And they've got better manners than you.
Just for your tiny little
starter and some wine.
I think your eating disorder somewhere else.
Well, I actually based one of my books, bit of a plug, Publer, on my time working as a waitress, because you hear such hilarious things that, you know, I was like, I've got to write a book, because there's the comedy value in when people are talking and they're saying something, what you're thinking and what you actually say. There's like that comedy value there, isn't there? Because in your mind, you want to reply one thing, but as professional that you are, you don't say it.
You've done that.
Yeah, and I think that everybody should do a bit of waitressing when they're first coming into adulthood, because it really does teach you a lot of skills about, you know, just being able to show one image and manage yourself on the other side of things. I think it taught me a lot of skills.
Definitely. Doing that job taught me that it's not about how many mistakes are made, it's how you come back from mistakes.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was all right being like, oh, this isn't cooked correctly, they've got to go. And if they then sort that out and bring it back to you and it's all sorted, then perfect. That to me does not knock down. There's no point being like, oh, it's going to be a 4 because it didn't come out the first time. Like, it just doesn't equate to me. And if you've worked in that job, you realise how many literally spinning plates are happening at the same time. And the fact that anyone gets their meal on time and correctly is quite amazing.
It also highlighted the fact that people were 10 times more likely to complain than they were to praise. And I think that is a thing for life.
Yeah.
And even the fact that people will tell you nasty things. And that's probably why they cut so deep, because there's not so many people don't naturally kind of tell you all the nice things that they're thinking.
100%.
So, you know, that's probably why we're like, ugh.
That's why I advocate for a compassion focus. This is literally all you need to be able to see that other side. I think we often live, I don't know, feeling I don't know, like something about what you just said, but I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, we do, you know, you can have 10 nice things said about you, can't you? And one criticism, and that's it. You're crumbling, and all you can focus on is the criticism. And it's like, but what about the 10 nice things? You know, why are we absolutely programmed
exactly
to fall apart at that? Shall we,
for the last few minutes,
God,
tackle some, what are they called?
well, it was, I can't remember what they were called. Oh, match this or something, because it was like, it's meant to be a his and hers type. Well, it's not his and hers, sorry, like a romantic couple kind of thing. Where how well do you know me?
Okay. Well, let's start with an easy one. Well, it's not easy, but less juicy, I suppose. What is my favourite pizza topping?
Cheese.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's probably my favourite thing on a pizza. I like toppings, but out of all the toppings, it's probably cheese.
Went with that, because it's like, well, no one likes pizza without cheese.
When you ask an autistic person question, it's like, hold on.
Literal. What is your favourite pizza topping?
I think it's Hawaiian, so I don't know if that classes as one topping or
interesting. So I was thinking, sure she doesn't. She like pineapple.
I feel like yours. I feel like I know yours and I've forgotten it.
Got favourites.
You haven't got a favourite. Okay.
I love pizza, but then it's I love margarita because there's no fuss. But then I love pepperoni, and
I was going to say pepperoni.
Yeah, I mean, probably it would have to, if you had to pick it, it probably would be pepperoni. But I like having pepperoni and pineapple together.
Ooh.
Ham and pineapple, yeah.
I've never had pepperoni and pineapple. I'm going to try it. I don't like this question. What would you change about me?
Nothing.
Same. If you no, I need you to keep being you, please. So this goes better.
I would change is I would improve your self-esteem. I would help you to see all your qualities and your positives, so that you weren't so self-critical.
Okay. I thought you were about to say, text me back.
Just as bad for responding. I can not respond for ages and then be like,
Same. Yeah, what would you... I just don't think it's a nice,
Yeah. It's more aimed at couples, isn't it? Now's the time to have a dig about what you would change about them.
Ain't it? Oh, yeah, Nick, I've got a whole list for you, don't worry. Just kidding.
Yeah, take the issue. You can have a...
What is the first name of my best friend?
Oh, you've mentioned like a school best friend a few times, but I can't think what her name is now off the top of my head. And you know, like, and you've spoken about it, but I just can't think of it. I'm rubbish. I've not really got just one best friend. You can name pretty much any of my friends, and they are one of my best friends.
Because I thought it first asked who was my first best friend, which I was going to say Charlotte.
Yeah, that's definitely.
But I think for you, Kat, Lou, anyone that's in the Glenny area, isn't
kind of like, I have top fives for everything. I've got 5 best friends, 5 favourites.
I love a top 5.
Yeah, it's easy to pick one, isn't it?
Do I prefer tea or coffee?
I don't think I've ever seen you drink tea, so I'd say coffee, but whether that means you prefer it.
Definitely. I
prefer tea or coffee.
I think you're actually okay with tea. You prefer tea now without coffee.
Yeah, well, I like Assam tea, green tea, and my mushroom coffee. So
yeah, as for coffee, no more coffee.
Yeah,
so
no coffee.
Oh my word!
What is it?
I don't even know if I know this. What is my favourite book? Surely you've read so many that...
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
You pick a favourite one.
Yeah, I could. So, you know, like, even when it comes to favourite books, I just don't remember them. It's like, that's why I think top 5 everything.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just answering for me now. It doesn't make any sense. If I had to be an animal, what would I be? I don't even know this about myself.
Your own cat, because she has such a lovely life.
That is the dream, to be fair.
Ziggy is the boss.
She 100% is the boss. I think you'd be a bird.
It's interesting because when I did that work to find out what my spirit animal is, it keeps coming up as a bird or my spirit guide. I don't want to say it's offensive.
Something that flies. Oh, maybe a butterfly, like the metamorphosis and then the...
Yeah.
But again, have you ever thought about what animal you'd be before?
Not long term, no.
Not in a romantic way. This is right. Last one, because it's ridiculous. Have I ever spoken in my sleep?
Oh, we did share a tent for a week, didn't we?
Did I say anything?
I don't think so. Not that I remember.
Do I snore?
No, I don't think you did. I was panicking that I was keep you awake with all my Oh, the cat says Steph's a penguin and Lindsay's a bird. Yeah. That is cute. What kind of bird though? I want to be like an eagle or something.
What was that thing we saw at Community? The red kite.
Yeah, gosh, that was extreme, wasn't it? Just came flying over our head with like a frog in its mouth.
In its talons, just like I just saw that. I've still got the video. Just this frog just like disappears over this hill with a...
Well, what a random mix-up of a show. I hope everybody's enjoyed us sharing some of our absolute horrors. I feel like I've traumatized myself all over again. It makes me very appreciative for the boyfriend that I've got in my life now, and and that I haven't had too many horrific experiences, I suppose.
100%. And I'm just happy that what was
not recent ones. I've got loads that I shoved deep. Like
she might remember a few more when she's driving home. Like, oh wait. I'm just happy that we got to spend it with each other and with our beautiful community. And I hope it's made your Valentine's Day that little bit better.
And please join us on Saturday, because that is going to be a big ass celebration.
Yep, from 2 p.m. till 2 a.m.
Big celebration.
It will be a big celebration for your girls' birthday.
Yes.
This, but also to raise money and an awareness for ADHD and a different human design. And that will allow us to keep providing the free services and downloadable things that you've seen, that you've enjoyed yourselves. Hopefully, if you haven't, go to adifferenthumandesign.co.uk. You can download them yourselves. There's the different resolution diary. There's
which you can copies off on Saturday.
Yeah, there's a ton of like prizes, giveaways, like markers that if we hit like subscriber amounts,
we're going to be doing silly things.
Hopefully. Let's be honest, it could literally be 12 hours of 3 people coming in and out and watching. We've got no choice. We've committed. We're going to be here for 12 hours. Come rain or shine, come followers or no followers, we'll be here. But if you come and support us, then that will allow us to keep providing this for free, which and also the sharing of it helps people to see who we are, because some people don't know that we have free downloadable stuff. They're out there paying for it.
Exactly. And this podcast is such a valuable asset to people, that people need to know that we exist.
100%. So if you can support us in any way possible on Saturday, come and join us from 2 p.m. till 2 a.m.
UK time.
UK time, yeah. If you're in any other country. We've got a ton of guests, some from America, thankfully joining us later.
It's going to be good. When I was looking at the schedule, it's pretty jam-packed. We've done very well.
Yeah, it went from like, how are we going to fill this time, to like, I don't think we've got enough time.
Isn't it? Because it's going to be very, very intense, but a lot of fun.
So thank you for joining us. Happy Valentine's Day. And we'll see you next week. This is Lindsay.
And this is Steph.
We are A Different Human Design.
And this is a different podcast.
Bye-bye.
Why is it like this? Instead of hate, it should be love, we inviting. You don't agree, then you're the problem that we're fighting. Open up your mind, stand up, become righteous. Why is it like